A storm sweeps across the UK, bringing more widespread disruption. In the Highlands, a major incident is declared as miles of cars become stranded in the snow. Good evening. A major incident has been declared in Scotland with long queues of vehicles stranded in the snow on the A9 in the Highlands. Storm Gerrit has been sweeping across the UK, bringing snow, high winds and heavy rain. Around 20,000 homes are still without power in northern Scotland, with some in rural areas expected to be cut off for 2 days. On the roads, trains, ferries and at airports, people are facing delays and hazardous conditions. Our correspondent Fiona McCullum reports.
As you can see, we are stuck on the A9 just south of Dalwhinnie.
Thick snow and ice took grip of the A9, the main trunk road between Perth and the Highlands. A major incident was declared. Richard was at a standstill with his wife and daughter for over 6 hours, trying to get home to Bristol after Christmas.
So yeah, when we set off from Loch Laggan, it was just raining and the snow was actually melting away. It seemed to be all right, and then as soon as we got to Dalwhinnie, it just was a complete whiteout. The skies opened and it was within minutes it was just complete whiteout. The traffic had come to an absolute halt, and we were going nowhere.
Away from the whiteout, and it was the rain that was causing problems in Cooper and Fife. Some residents had to be rescued from their homes after severe flooding in the town. Specialist boats were brought in to help.
I woke up and I could hear some rustling noises, and I looked out and it's 2 to 3 feet of water up to my bed. I'm thinking most things in the lounge are going to be gone. It's obviously not what you want to wake up to just after Christmas.
In Aberdeenshire and Angus, more than 20,000 people are without power. Winds reached over 85 miles an hour in some parts.
Storm Gerrit has mainly impacted Scotland at the moment, with around 20,000 customers without power, access proving a real challenge for our engineers, and weather is expected to be worse again overnight, so we are keeping a very close eye on that. If you are in an area affected by a weather warning, we would urge you to make preparations just now, but know that engineers and customer service teams, thousands of people, are working around the clock to reconnect power as quickly as they safely can.
Trains were hit too. Not only were services cancelled, but some passengers were stuck on board for hours. A tree fell on this line at Dumbarton, and it remains blocked by flooding at Bowling.
Our advice to passengers, as always, is to check before you travel. Take a look at the ScotRail website or download the app. Disruption will continue into tomorrow in some parts of the country.
2 top-flight football games were postponed, including Ross County's trip to Ibrox. A series of Met Office yellow rain and snow warnings are still in place tonight. Flood warnings and alerts will also continue into tomorrow. Fiona McCullum, BBC News, Glasgow.
A major incident has been declared in Scotland as Storm Gerrit batters much of the UK. 18,000 properties are without power, and disruption to travel has left many unable to make their journeys home after Christmas. British Airways has grounded flights, ScotRail shut some of its routes, and fallen trees have blocked roads. Our North of England reporter Kelly Foran has more.
As you can see, we are stuck on the A9. Looks like we might be here for the night.
A white Christmas might look pretty, but not so much when you're stranded in it.
We've been here for 3 hours now, stuck in the snow, along with hundreds of other vehicles by the look of it, stretching back to Aviemore in that direction.
Here on the A9 in Scotland, a major incident declared as drivers unable to move.
We've had a knock on the window from the police. That was about 2-3 hours ago, and they just said, well, we're stuck as well, so we've got nothing to tell you. And at that point, the ploughs were stuck, but luckily enough, it looks like the ploughs are actually now starting to move, so we've got one just coming past us now, or to right towards us, in fact. Wow. So I'm hoping that he's going to clear the way for us, and then we're going to be able to do a U-turn and start heading north.
And it's not just snow. In Fife this afternoon, residents rescued from their flooded homes. A series of Met Office yellow weather warnings for snow, wind and rain are in place until tomorrow morning. Strong gusts have been bringing down trees, some onto power lines. Thousands of homes across the country without electricity, including in the Peak District.
Here in Chapel on the Thrift, almost 600 homes have had power cuts over the last day or so. Electricity North West say they are on standby and expecting more of the same as the night goes on.
So the wind can cause some serious problems for the overhead line network, where you get windborne debris or trees and branches knocking into overhead lines. When there's really strong winds, it can prevent the overhead line teams from climbing, which can cause a little bit of a delay, but we'll make sure that we do it as safely and as quickly as possible to get people back on.
Electricity North West have extra staff on standby as conditions are expected to worsen. Storm Gerrit is the fourth major weather incident in as many weeks. In Bournemouth today, a walk by the seaside, brisk to say the least. Flights have been cancelled, roads closed, and there's been disruption to trains too, with more flooding and damage expected overnight. Kelly Foran, ITV News.